All right, I think I last left off on slide 20. So if you're following along with me, go to slide 20. And we were just talking about the rule. So we're looking how to get from 3 to 7, 4 to 8, 5 to 9. I don't recognize any math facts except this 4 to 8, but I know that 4 times 2 is 8. However, 3 times 2 is not 7, and 5 times 2 is not 9. So I got to try something else. I know I'm going from smaller to bigger, so maybe I'll try adding. Well, to get from 3 to 7, I would do 3 plus 4. To get from 4 to 8, I would do 4 plus 4. From 5 to 9, I would do 5 plus 4. So each time you're adding 4 to the input. And that would look like n plus 4. You could also have 4 plus n. So when I write that, 4 plus n. It's not the same thing as n times 4 or 4n. It's either 4 plus n or n plus 4. And then my value, if the n was 100, would be 104. Very similar for slide 21. So I'm going to have you actually do slide 21 on your own while I'm not doing a video. Go to slide 22. This is where it gets a little bit harder. So 2 to 8, 3 to 11, 5 to 17. Well, I know that 2 times 4 makes 8. But 3 times 4 does not make 11. Okay, let's try adding. 2 plus 6 makes 8, but 3 plus 6 makes 9. So how am I going to get from the input to the output? The next thing we try is multiplying and then adding to get close. Here's what I mean. I'm going to multiply to get close to 8 without actually hitting 8 from 2. So if I do 2 times 3, I can get 6. And then how far away is 6 from 8? Well, it's only 2 away. So I'm going to write that down. It may not be my answer. I'm going to write it down to get out of my head here. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 and then add 2 more. So if my rule is to take x and times it by 3 and add 2, we'll see if that works. So let's take 3. Instead of 2 here, I'm going to write it as 3, that's my x, times 3, add 2. Let's see if we get to 11. Well, I know 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11, so that works. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. So I know that my rule is multiply my x by 3, or my n, I guess I should say. So 3 times n and add 2. The value when it was 100 would be 100 times 3 plus 2, and that would be 302. There's not a lot of tricks into doing this. A lot of it's trial and error. Here we know that we can't multiply anything by 0 to get to 20. We know that the only way to get from 0 to 20 is to add 20. So I think that one of the ways I'm going to do this is by adding 20. So you can look for little keywords here. So on this, I know I'll be multiplying my n by something because there's no other way to get from 0 to 20. But then I'm also going to have to add 20. Adding just 20 doesn't work every time. So what I need to do with 12 is get close to 116 and then be able to add 20. So what I would first do is take 116 minus 20. And I know that will give me 96. So then I think, well, what can I multiply by 12, if anything, to get 96? And that answer would be 8. So let's see if that works every time. 0 times 8 is 0, plus 20 is 20. That works. 12 times 8 is 96, plus 20 is 116. 15 times 8 is 120. 120 plus 20 is 140. So that is my rule, 8n plus 20. I want you to try to figure out slide 24. That will be probably the hardest that you do all day. Again, there is no key thing I can teach you like a shortcut. I always start with maybe times 2 and then go to times 3. And sometimes you're even going to have to subtract backwards. Like I might have to try times 10 or times